Oh, I'm sorry. I was talking to Matt Rocchio. Wow. You know what? That was your way to get Matt Rocchio out of here. You just go, you know what? I'm just going to start the show.
Listen, there might not be a bigger Matt Rocchio fan in this building than I. However, there's a time for chatting and there's a time for doing, and we were past the time of chatting. And I think Rocchio knows that all too well. He
was telling me a wonderful family story.
And I love that. And I you know how much I'm a guy who wears his heart on his sleeve. I love talking about my family and how much I love them.
I just feel like if it's about an Italian family or an Irish family, you don't like it as much. That's my read. I don't know. I'm not saying that for certain. It's my feeling.
I couldn't be further from the truth. I have nothing but love for the Italians, the Irish, the Italian Americans, the Irish Americans. Give back the 6 counties.
Thank you. All right, now I'm back on board.
I've been saying that forever. And but like I said, there's a time and a place for everything. And 3 seconds before we're about to go on air on 101.1 FM, HD1.
Yeah, Jenks Coke.
Is
Trails.
not the time to be telling us, we all have stories.
Wow.
But like I said, there's a time and a place. All right, no. This is what I'm going to do. Tomorrow morning, because opening drive starts right at 7. We start at 7:07.
You're going to walk down here and start telling stories?
I'm just going to walk in at 6:59 and just regale the dais with my own stories of my father. And then Rocchio can be in my seat and then see how he likes it.
And you and Rocky are going to scrap.
He'd beat me.
Well, I didn't get a chance to do yes, and it's kind of like watching Different Strokes. You don't get to hear Gary Coleman say what you talking about, Willis. I mean, that's what the people tune in for. Oh, okay.
You got to give me a moment here.
That's delay music.
Not positive if I actually know how to do this. So
we have so much to get to. We're wasting precious time. It's just so tiring.
Oh, okay, I got it. I figured it out. I'm proud of myself. Ready?
Okay. Yes. Yeah, 10:07, it doesn't matter. As long as the people get it.
Yeah, that's Rock's fault. That's the Rocchio delay. That's what we're calling that.
I'm telling you, I'm sensing some kind of Italian-Irish thing going on here. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it for sure. I'm just sensing it. Get involved on the program. Do you feel like Jackson hates the Irish and the Italians? 314-399-9646, Air Comfort Service text line. YouTube chat's active as the day is long. MD 2020 says, hey, boys. Jackson and his random noises to kill time. That's from Droid Effects.
Random noises. Tim's the one that makes the noises.
So many things to cover. I agree. What do you have today for the 6 questions?
So many things to cover. Right.
Guess you don't believe the Cardinals still can get into this postseason.
I have a question about the Cardinals. I have a question about college football. Got a question about the NFL.
Nice.
I have a pretty, not a question about James Earl Jones, but it's James Earl Jones using as a prompt. May he rest in peace. Mm-hmm. And, I got some good stuff.
All right, fair enough. Today you are calling these series of questions what?
My Morning Jackson.
Now, do we have trivia 10:45 or not?
We do.
Because yesterday we gave away tickets, and then today on TMA you candidly threw Mike Ryder under the bus. Mike, I can play the audio for you during a commercial break in which you said, I don't think we have trivia today. I got to check. But you heard Ryder tell me that we have trivia. Didn't you hear it? And I thought, boy, this is like a Shedeur Sanders press conference, just throwing the offensive line under the bus. Mike Ryder's the offensive line of 101 ESPN.
He is. That is because the offensive line is by far the most important thing.
Thank you.
And Ryder is the most important thing to us. But yeah, we were. Listen, I brokered a deal where we'll be giving away tickets today. I made sure of it, despite Mike Ryder's
deal. Though that seems like the
despite Ryder's incompetence isn't the right word.
Oh,
but he dropped the ball a little.
Oh.
He's staring daggers through. He's like behind like a shadow. It's like people can't see it, but behind there's like
which makes for better radio.
I'll explain it. It's like on Dateline when they blur the person out.
The Catch a Predator, Chris Ham. Why don't you have a seat over there for me?
So like I think that's Ryder. He's now sipping coffee ominously, Yeah. But we're giving away tickets. 10:45 trivia.
All right. Blues and Brews tickets. That's September 20th, Friday, September 20th at the Anheuser-Busch Brewery to open up the Blues season, featuring live music from country music star Matt Stell and St. Louis's own Charles Glenn Group, plus appearances by Braden Shen, Jake Neighbors, Dylan Holloway, Philip Roberg, Drew Bannister, and Blues alumni. And you'll be able to text in to win the free tickets to Blues and Brews at 314-399-9646. Friday was a super fun one. Which postal code for a state is only 2 vowels? That was incredible. And it was followed up yesterday by what is the name of a female fox? So I can't imagine how we're going to be able to follow up the momentum of those 2 questions with a trivia question at 10:45 today. But I certainly am looking forward to it, mainly because I'm contractually obligated to be here for it.
Fair enough. Here, I'll give you one. This is not the trivia question I'm going to ask, but I'm curious if you can get close. All I want you to do is get close. You don't have to get the number right on. How many landlocked U.S. states are there? Kind of a tough one.
Fun. Fun, because it isn't one you either know or you don't. You can kind of think through it.
Right.
And it's even better to we have an hour show.
Yeah.
And maybe 47 minutes of that show is content, depending on what time we get here and what time we get Rockio out of here.
I'll tell you, that's the under on that.
I'm going to say, just because for the sake of the show, I'm not going to actually do the math in my head. I'm going to say 20.
The answer is 27. 27 landlocked states.
That's fun. So we're going to do that at 10:45, so it's going to be more like a comprehension.
Well, that one, that's like I said, that's not going to be the question.
Okay. More than half, though. That's fun.
But I bet I can ask a trivia question about a movie that James Earl Jones was in. I don't know which James Earl Jones movie I'll pick, but I'll ask a trivia question about a movie that James Earl Jones was in.
All right. There you go. Now you have your category, James Earl Jones. Jackson, do you have a question to lead off today's My Morning Jackson?
Sure. Some good stuff from Derek Gould's chat yesterday. I want to read a quick excerpt.
That was a great chat. That's major recommended reading.
Yep. This is
on STLtoday.com.
Would recommend, absolutely. This was in response to a question about why do the Cardinals not roll out some younger pitchers in these last few weeks of the season when things look to be bleak, but they're still mathematically alive.
0.6% chance of making the postseason is what the Cardinals.
This is Derek's response. The team and the manager are keeping the notion of contention alive and suggesting that they can pull off the incredible. Loitering around the 5 games out will do that. The Cardinals will bring back Lance Lynn to the rotation this week. This disconnect is real between the team and a vocal group of fans, but it's not unusual as the team has to play the standings as of today, and fans can see what they feel are the inevitable standings ahead. For the rest of the season, this is my question now. For the rest of the season, wouldn't you try out your younger pitchers to see what they have, even if it's a very small sample size? Why won't they move on from the 2024 season?
Did you ask this before we talked about it on TMA? I'm asking this.
I wrote this question before we talked about this on TMA.
Because I get the question, because Derek was tending to a fan base that's going, why are they trotting Lance Lynn out there, like you said? And I say this, but I know I come off so condescending and arrogant. It's tough to dumb it down for you people. And I hope that doesn't come off wrong. Does that come? How do you think that comes off?
If it does, it's my fault.
Thank you.
Yep. Ryder's fault.
I would never blame Mike Ryder. Because the job of Oli Marmol and John Mozeliak is to expire anything and everything they can with what they have at the moment to try and get into the postseason while they still mathematically can. Their job, especially if they might not have it in 2025, is to not worry about 2025. And if I'm Oli Marmol, I would think, unless I've been told otherwise, it's a coin flip that you're coming back. Wouldn't you say? What do you think?
I think that Oli Marmol is simply following direction because that's the best plan forward for him.
I thought that too until the Jordan Walker KMOX interview. That was where I was going, hold on a second, because I was under the impression he was just following orders.
Right.
And clearly that was not the case with the Jordan Walker thing.
So I guess if you are mathematically still in it, you have to do whatever you think is the best plan to win baseball games.
That's correct.
And
it's not think, you are mathematically in it. And in both of their cases, if we're talking about Mozeliak, and I already won the bet, by the way.
I know. I literally, you saying, is they going to come back, reminded me I owe you $20.
Is that what it was? It was 20?
Well, yeah, I parlayed.
Nice.
Pretty sure.
But it was Georgia was going to Kentucky for the college game day.
Which it was until Mark Stoops decided to lay an egg.
Right. So that's more money in my Venmo. That's outstanding. Yeah, I might just do this show for your Venmo.
One day
you also
give me back.
that Ali Marmol was part of the parlay. Ali Marmol and John Mozeliak would be in their position at opening day next year, which I'm very confident is not going to happen either. But the Georgia-Kentucky game day thing got me my bet. I listened to John Mozeliak on KMOX this past Sunday, and he talked about how there are going to be changes this offseason. But if you are Ali Marmol, whereas still somehow Mozeliak's in a position that he gets to call the shot on the changes, I just don't get this. I mean, I feel like Will Ferrell in Zoolander. Am I taking crazy pills? I don't get how if you don't own the business, you get to call the shots. I just don't understand it.
Right.
I don't understand it. Well, Mozeliak's going to determine when he... Hey, that's a lovely sentiment if we were running like a, fraternity, but this is a business. Yeah. It's a $2+ billion business. You don't get to keep your job if you continue to not do your job. I just don't understand it. And then you don't get to create the reconstruction if you've played a role in the destruction. What am I missing? I don't know. But either way, if you're Ali Marmol and you're going, yeah, I think I could be gone here this time next month, I'm going to do everything I can to try to keep my job, which is what I kind of think the Jordan Walker thing was about, if I'm trying to figure that out. Because Marmol was Mozeliak's guy, and he was Mozeliak's guy not just when they won the division in 2022. He was Mozeliak's guy in March when he got a contract extension. So this is a recent phenomenon, and I think he's thinking, okay, I might be out. And unlike, say, Tony La Russa or Mike Schilt, I don't know what the market's going to look like for Ali Marmol if he loses his job. Yeah, he's under contract, so he gets to get paid. But what will the job market look like for Ali Marmol whenever he wants to go, if he is available? Yeah. I'm not sure it looks really good. So in Ali Marmol's mind, he's going, I got to do whatever I can. And if I think Lance Lynn gives me a better chance of winning and somehow hitting the Hail Mary of getting into the postseason, that's what I'm going to go with.
Yeah. And I get that. And I totally...
And by the way, I totally understand it.
Totally understand it. However, my opinion on it still remains... You have to see what some of these young pitchers look like in Major League Baseball. I know.
I love you, but I don't get how you don't get this.
But I totally get it. I totally understand why they're doing it. But it's short-sighted.
It's open and closed. No, it's not. Not if you're not affiliated with the organization next year. Why do you care what they look like in 2025?
I know. That's what I'm saying. You have guys who will be affiliated with them in 2025 who won't get Major League shots because they got to throw Lance Lynn out there.
I understand, but if you're the manager and you are in a position to call the shots, then you do whatever is best for the short term.
Right, but removing that, like from a
but that's you can't remove that because that's a real thing. Like I'd like to operate that I'm 6'6", but we can't. I'm a dwarf boy.
No, I know. Like I said, I understand that this is what they have to do. I still think it's short-sighted in terms of the future of the Cardinals. Not Ali Marmol's future, not Mozeliak's future.
But Ali Marmol is the one making out the lineup card.
And
to my surprise, by the way. I always kind of thought he wasn't, but clearly he wasn't played in Jordan Walker, and that didn't delight the president of baseball operations, so he took him out of his hands. He Philip Seymour Hoffman'd him.
He did. Art Howe. Great performance.
Art Howe says he was mischaracterized, and he's not happy about it.
He got to be played by Philip Seymour Hoffman. He should always be happy about that. Rest in peace to another legend. I just think it's to the detriment of the Cardinals franchise.
I agree with that part.
All right, then we're some.
No, we're not.
I think we are.
No, you can't just get me to concede on a point that you
I'm
didn't
not saying
ask.
I won anything.
We're in agreement. I get what he's doing. I like if it were just me as a fan or a talk show host, I'd go, yeah, I don't get it because they have this 0.6% chance. But if you're in Ali Marmol's job. And you're going, I think I might lose my job, or you've been told, hey, if we don't get in the postseason, you're out, whatever it is. I think there's a good chance he hasn't been told anything. But hell, I don't know. You do whatever you can to try to go 19-0 the rest of the way, which, by the way, still might not be good enough to get you a playoff spot.
Right.
That's how bad the math is.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Now, I also know this. I haven't even looked at the text inbox or the YouTube chat. I think there are probably more people on your side on this.
No, they hate me.
But the reason I say that is because Derek Gould was observing in the chat. I know fans don't like this, but the Cardinals are operating like they still have a chance, and they do, and so they have to expire that. Now, if within the next handful of days that chance is officially gone, and they're still running these guys out there, at that point, I'll go, I have no idea what the hell they're doing.
Right. But teams are still mathematically in it at the trade deadline. They offload and sell like crazy, and that doesn't, that's for the betterment.
You're getting something in return.
You could be getting
But the front offices, I understand that. But again, it goes back to if Ali Marmol and or John Mozeliak and who else, maybe other players, there are people in the organization know they're not going to be around, then it becomes like the clubhouse in Major League where they know they're gone and they're all there,
Yeah, Lou Brown, another great movie manager. He
did wonderful work there leading that club. That you go, okay, well, it's all about this year. We don't care about next year.
Right.
I feel like, I remember Matt Morris, who was just inducted into the Cardinal Hall of Fame, and the Cardinals announced plans for the new ballpark. And I had a good rapport with him, and he was an amusing guy. Spends most of his time playing FIFA now in Montana.
That's great.
God bless him. And I said, hey, can I get a quick interview with you? He goes, what do you want to talk about? I'm not even pitching. And I go, well, they announced the plans for the new ballpark. He goes, what do I care? I'm not going to be here. And I go, oh.
Can you give me a soundbite still, though?
I guess, and the thing was open up in 2006, and I think it was like 2002. And, he still was pitching. He might have even pitched in it now that I think about it. It was one of those weird Pirates deals where they acquired a guy who's clearly on his way out of baseball and then paid him. I don't know what they're doing sometimes.
Yeah.
But, I thought about it. I guess it's like Marmol. What do I care? I'm not going to, it's not my problem next year.
You were just looking for 50 seconds of talking, though.
15, right before weather has the 5-day. All right, 10:21. I was late for a break. Standard operating procedure. Because of Rocchio.
Yes, we had to spend that time dealing with him.
I thought it was a wonderful anecdote about an Italian-American family in South St. Louis getting a chance to see a professional golf tournament, something none of us, whether we be Irish or we be Italian, we could have ever visualized. And here we are enjoying the Champions Tour. And I thought it was a beautiful story that you just started playing music to drown him out, to smoke him out of his hole.
Listen, someone could come in here and tell us the most heartwarming tale ever. If it's at 10:03, I'm going to have to be like, hey, man, we got to go do the show here. Unless you want to come on and tell the story on the air, that's fine. Like I said, you're looking for 15 seconds from Matt Morris. I'm just looking for anything.
From Matt Rocchio, and anything is silence.
Anything after 11 is fine by me.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Balloon Party, and it's on 101 ESPN. Munganast, sponsor of Balloon Party here on 101 ESPN and the 101 ESPN YouTube channel. It's Munganast St. Louis Acura, Munganast Burkhardt, Alton Toyota. Online at stlouisacura.com and altontoyota.com. Can't say enough good things about the people I've gotten to know at Munganast St. Louis Acura and Munganast Burkhardt, Alton Toyota. Jamie Burkhardt, name on the dealership there in Alton, and Peter Munganast, name on the dealership in both Alton and Munganast St. Louis Acura on Manchester in Baldwin. Go shopping for a new car or pre-owned vehicle just by going to stlouisacura.com or altontoyota.com. And if you need to get your car serviced, even if you didn't get it originally from Munganast St. Louis Acura, Munganast Burkhardt, Alton Toyota, all you got to do is go to stlouisacura.com or altontoyota.com and work with Ryan Seiberg and that great service department at Munganast. It's stlouisacura.com and altontoyota.com. Munganast, St. Louis Acura, Munganast Burkhardt, Alton Toyota. Welcome back to Balloon Party 101 ESPN. Tim McKernan, Jackson Burkett with you. We're on the YouTube channel as well, even though that's not turned on right now. What if Rockio?
There's a delay. I guess it's not instant.
So you can censor me?
You're like
if I talk up the Republic?
You're triple sticks right now. You want things right now, and I'm trying to plan for the future, baby.
I am old money, aren't I? Let me ask the audience this. I don't think it's any secret that I'm fabulously wealthy. Mm-hmm. When I go and gamble with Jackson, and we played golf on Friday, and I won the front, the back, and the overall. And by the way, this wasn't really a compliment to me so much as it's a criticism of Jackson's play.
What's going on right now?
Well, I'm laying out a question. This isn't like a brag because I played poorly.
This is like I'm like Brandon Knight just getting dunked on.
No, I think I may be. I'm exposing myself, actually.
All right.
If you'd stop interrupting.
Fair enough.
Jackson is a good golfer. He didn't play well on Friday. I didn't play well either, but I still won. That's what I was trying to say, and then I was rudely interrupted. And we played a $20 Nassau. Yeah. That means a $20 bet on the front, $20 bet on the back, and a $20 bet on the overall. And I won all three. Mm-hmm. Now, some people, when they make bets amongst compadres, they're like, you don't have to pay me. That's not the way I operate.
No, it's not.
But I pay.
You do.
I, quote unquote, beat Chris Nagel one time, who's played in multiple U.S. Opens over the last few years. He also had to give me like 10 strokes. Sure. So I didn't really beat Chris Nagel. But by the definition of the game, and he owed me like whatever, $50 or something. And I go, you don't have to pay me. I mean, I got a chance to play with you. Yeah. He goes, no. He goes, I'm going to pay you. And I go, okay, fair enough. And he goes, that way, when I beat your ass next time, you'll be paying me. Yeah. And I go, God bless. But my overall thought is I don't care what the net worths are because I know your net worth is incredibly higher than mine.
Well, yeah.
I'm just like, hey, you make a bet, you pay the bet. Right. That's the way that it goes. And we go to commercial break here on Balloon Party, and I look down and I see I have a text message from the good people at Venmo, and I see Jackson Burkett paid you $20, and it's titled Mark Stoops. Yeah. You have paid, but deep down, are you like, this a-hole makes more than me? I shouldn't be paying him, honestly, because I don't view it that way.
It's a principle.
I don't care.
If you make a bet, you should honor the bet.
That's what it is.
Right, but it's a standard.
Because otherwise, why would I make the bet? I'm only going to pay the guy. Yeah. I'm never going to win. Why would I do that? That'd be zero upside.
Like the way I think of it.
It's not about like, oh, good, now I got your $20. Right. It's about, it's how we keep score.
Sure, we made a bet, and I lost.
But I think some people like to, use their hands on each other. I'm not here for manual. We make a bet, we pay the bet. I lose, I pay, you lose, you pay. That's it.
The closer you are to the person, I feel like the easier it is to always bet. Like when you bet somebody who you kind of know, or maybe have more of a working relationship, it's like, because anytime money's exchanged, things can get awkward. Like with people you don't necessarily...
More awkward if it isn't exchanged and you owe somebody.
Certainly, but there's less confrontation, probably.
Through you have somebody who's hired.
I call
handle it.
Muscle.
Right.
Moose, Rocco.
Once again, interesting. Wasn't that interesting, Matt, that he defaulted right away to...
You're the one.
You said Rocco. I can have Ryder play it back. I wouldn't challenge Ryder the way you're talking about him today.
1980, Harold Ramis's classic Caddyshack. Dangerfield said, Moose, Rocco, help the judge find his checkbook.
I heard an Italian-American slur yet again.
Well, do you want to be... But the thing with the betting is, do you want to be Judge Smales? Do you want to be running away from Moose and Rocco? Or do you want to be the person who honors their bets?
I just don't want the heritage of my wife, and I guess... a part of my children to be attacked on this show every day from 10 to 11 and whatever poor Matt Rocchio is dealing with.
If someone said you can go to any country in America.
Unbelievable.
We'll do high school. If you can go to any country in the world right now, take me right to Italy. Sicily, matter of fact. Take me right to Sicily.
Yeah, but that reminds me of Longshanks saying the only problem with Scotland is it's full of Scots. Like, you love the nation, but you don't like the people. That's what I take from it.
But I'd be all up in there with the Sicilian people, hanging out.
Oh, always has to go back to the people associated with the mob. It's got to be Sicilians.
That's just coincidence.
This is going to be rough for you. Especially as a guy who lives on the hill. That's the really interesting part. It's like this self-loathing thing that's going on. I'm going to do a deep dive on this.
I walk around the
hill.
hill.
When are you on vacation next? Well, we're going to play audio of your hatred toward the Italian community.
You know, the more I think about it.
You're going to acknowledge it right here?
Well, I've always wanted to go to Japan.
I segue.
I do. I think.
Oh, that's where you're going to vacation.
Like Tokyo.
Just like many St. Louisans, when they have a couple days off, they fly to Tokyo.
Yeah, I'd have to plan out, carve out at least 2 weeks. But that would be really cool.
Do you want Jackson to go on vacation for 2 weeks?
I'm sure, yeah.
314-399-9646. Jackson. Jackson just looked at
There's a text with a 314 that just says, "This is the worst effing sports show on the air." With like a million exclamation points. And I just saw that. That was really funny.
Jackson, do you have a question for My Morning Jackson? And then you have this trivia question in which you strong-armed Mike Ryder into giving tickets away at 10:45.
It's a kind of a micro college football topic, but I think it could expand.
Right.
It could expand outside of that. What do coaches do when their seat is so hot that the likelihood of any cooling is slim to none? Billy Napier is all but on the job hunt for next year, but will likely coach 5 to 6 games this year. Does your motivation switch from winning games to simply trying to present the best version of yourself for future jobs? How does somebody handle that?
Gosh, I like that question. I feel like it's kind of a macro question.
You can expand it macro. Because with college football, it might be different because the revolving door.
Like maybe I'm off on this. I mean, Napier's kind of the obvious one,
but he's dealing with like a quarterback controversy now.
He's playing. Yeah, he played
Graham Mertz and DJ Long,
the freshman against Samford this past week. But now they got A&M at home in the Swamp this week. But he's going back to Mertz. But I think he wanted to show the boosters, hey, look what I got. And if I leave, he's going to go with me.
Right.
That's the game they're playing there. The one that I think is intriguing, who wasn't even this time last week, this time 4 days ago, wasn't even being talked about. And if anything, his stock might not have been higher, is Marcus Freeman.
Yeah.
Marcus Freeman loses another game
he's gonna
between now and USC because if you look at Notre Dame's schedule, it is littered with butt asses. I mean, it is.
They have to win out.
And he is in his third year. I think he loses his job.
Which at the beginning of the season.
He is in a spot, though, where he could get into the playoff, as crazy as it sounds, by winning out, and it is realistic for them to win out. I guess theoretically it is. There isn't like a Georgia or Ohio State sitting out there for them.
I think they play USC.
USC, I think, would be the highest-ranked team they have left. They have Florida State, but obviously that looks different now than it did when the schedule came out. So, with that all said, I don't know. I'm of the impression, I just think, unless you're told you're gone, no matter what, I think you're always doing everything you can to win. I mean, remember Kim Anderson after they won an SEC tournament game? What was he saying? We're shove that up their asses or something like that when he was walking off the floor. Remember that?
Yeah.
You remember that? I mean, nobody remember that better than you.
Kevin Purrier days.
Yeah. So I think you're all, unless you're told you're done, you're like, we can win. Yeah. I just think that's part of being in that spot.
I just think college football.
Maybe I'm off on that, though.
College football seems just a little different because of how, like Marcus Freeman, like you said,
it's so interesting that I love it as much as I do, and it has to be the most gross of the 6 major sports.
I mean,
including college basketball, I guess, and then the 4 major North American leagues.
Yeah,
it's like so gross. Yeah, Mike Gundy, I don't know if it was yesterday or today, I saw he was asked about they lost one of their linemen, and he goes, what do you really think about this guy who's going to be replacing whoever is out for the year? And he goes, well, do you want coach speak or you want the truth? Goes, well, honestly, if we could afford better players, we would, but we can't, so this guy's playing. And it's like, it's the truth.
Yeah,
I don't know how that the guy's feeling is who's going to be replacing it, but I mean, it's the truth, and he knows it.
Yeah,
it's like there's an unlimited payroll.
It's kind of like what Mark Stoops said a year ago, I believe.
Yes,
where he's
and he caught a lot of hell for it.
Yeah, he's like, boosters, if you don't like what you're seeing, give me more money. Give us more money. Give not me, but give the program
I
more
think
money.
He would have happily been in College Station right now if that wouldn't have received the pushback that it did. All right, it is 10:36. Jackson's got trivia coming up at 10:45. This is Balloon Party on 101 ESPN.
This is Action Jackson with a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Cardinals were off last night. They will take on the Cincinnati Reds tonight. 6:45 first pitch. Andre Palante on the mound for the Cardinals, and Katie Wu has confirmed that the Cardinals are calling up infield prospect Thomas Ajacey, who is the number 4 prospect for the Cardinals. That is another Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
It's Balloon Party 101 ESPN. Tim McKernan, Jackson Burkett with you on the program. Jackson, did you watch the Jets and 49ers last night? Did you have action on the over?
I did not bet the game last night. I faded it.
What was your big play this weekend?
I was heavy on Bucks first half. So I like the Buccaneers first half, and I took Missouri to cover. And thank you.
Oh, this Eli Drinkwitz is doing a favor to the boosters and going out of his way to cover in the final minutes in both games.
31 seconds left, and they're ramming in a goal line touchdown.
I believe it was the lead last night on Scott Van Pelt's Bad Beats.
I can imagine.
Stanford Steve, big fan of the uniforms with the white helmet and white pant.
I'm a big fan of Stanford Steve.
There you go. So am I. All right, Jackson. Last night, unique set of circumstances, and I bet there are a number of people in the audience, whether it be for fantasy football purposes, daily fantasy purposes, or gambling purposes, go, what in the hell happened? About 45 minutes before kickoff, I feel like.
Maybe even less.
It was announced that Christian McCaffrey would not be playing because of injury for the 49ers. Instead, backup running back Jordan Mason got the start. He went off. The 49ers win. Aaron Rodgers doesn't look particularly great. The 49ers, without McCaffrey, beat a playoff contender, at least supposed playoff contender. And then people go, my God, if they can do that with Jordan Mason, what can they do when McCaffrey's healthy? But that's not the topic. What audio do we have here? Because you're presenting this like a trial lawyer, and it's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be like Matthew McConaughey.
So this is Lisa Salters asking Jordan Mason after the game.
We're on the field at Levi Stadium.
Yep.
Take a listen.
Santa Clara. Here we go.
When did you find out that you were going to be starting?
When I found out, maybe Friday night, something like that.
That's Jordan Mason directly after the game.
All right. Now, are we going to Shanahan or are we going to Mason?
We're going to have Kyle Shanahan when asked about Jordan Mason's comments to Lisa Salters.
Going to be starting.
We got to delete that, and then we ask this. Here we go.
There was a report that Christian probably wouldn't play against Minnesota just because it's a short weekend on turf. You're saying?
I'm saying it's amazing. That person must be God, because we just found out he wasn't playing today, and I have no idea how he's going to feel tomorrow or the next day. I thought he was playing this whole week until today, so I don't know. Who knows that he's not playing next week? So
that's Kyle Shanahan about Christian McCaffrey's status.
Okay, now, are you going Shanahan or are you going Mason next?
Mason next.
Because Shanahan was asked about what Mason said, and he said, no, I didn't tell him.
I got that audio. I'm sorry.
Okay, all right.
Jordan said after the game that he was told on Friday night he was going to start. When did Christian start feeling awry?
I never told Jordan he was going to start. Told him he had to be ready a bunch, but that might have been Bobby or somebody trying to pump him up. But I knew he was going to have to play a lot. I told him that he was going to have to. It wasn't going to be like usual. He was going to be a number 2 back that was splitting a lot of the time. But no, he didn't know he for sure was doing that till today.
Okay. And then you heard Jordan Mason at the outset. He said he was told on Friday night. Then Jordan Mason goes to the podium, not on the field with Lisa Salters. Now he's at the podium 10, 15 minutes after the interview with Lisa Salters on the field. He's asked now by the beat reporters and the columnists in Santa Clara about when he was told he was going to be starting.
When did you find out that you'd be in the starting lineup?
That question right there is why I'm at. That's why I don't like really talking to media, because you say one thing wrong, and then, I don't know. Just skip that question.
It's a defeated man who didn't realize he was doing anything wrong.
Just had the career game.
And clearly was told, what are you doing? in between the Lisa Salters interview and the time he addressed the media at the podium. Now, some of you may be saying, why does it matter? It's a fair question. Allow me to explain. The reason why it matters is NFL teams are required to give injury updates throughout the course of the week. Why? Some might say for competition reasons. The real reason, of course, is for
gambling.
That's correct. And so you have that play out yesterday with Mason saying he was told on Friday night, and then the 49ers sitting on it until Monday at approximately 6:45 Central Time. And if indeed they did that, now you got a situation.
The league is going to be making a phone call to Santa Clara today.
Yeah. So that is the reason why that is an issue. And I bet there are some people out there who lost a lot of money because of it.
Yep, absolutely. The spread only moved a point after CMC was announced out. So clearly Vegas had confidence in
if you created a
Mason.
daily fantasy roster before 6:45 Central,
Brutal.
And I would imagine Christian McCaffrey was put on 90+% of rosters.
Yeah.
You got blown up. Jackson, it's 10:48. Time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers. That means it's your trivia time for the tickets to Blues and Brews. Friday, September 20th at the Anheuser-Busch Brewery. What is our category? James Earl Jones?
James Earl Jones?
Great James Earl Jones, passing away yesterday at 93.
The film I selected to do the trivia about, Field of Dreams.
Yep.
In the movie Field of Dreams, Kevin Costner, Ray Casella, takes Terrence Mann, James Earl Jones' character, to a Red Sox game, Fenway Park, where they see Moonlight Grom pop up on the video board. Who were the Red Sox playing in that game?
The first person with the correct answer wins tickets to Blues and Brews by texting in 314-399-9646. Air Comfort Service text line. What team were the Red Sox playing in the game Kevin Costner took James Earl Jones to in Field of Dreams?
Yep.
19. I'm going to say 89 to get me 90 and 88.
I believe the film is 1989. Whew. I think that was the same year as Bull Durham. So, I mean, big year. Yeah, it was 89.
We're getting all kinds of different teams in here.
The correct answer the correct answer is in there from the 618. The answer, the Oakland Athletics.
How about that? The Oakland A's.
Oakland A's. That was the answer.
If I'm not mistaken, I've heard Ricky Horton tell a story that in the movie, he is pitching when there's a game on in the background when they're in their home.
Really?
I'm pretty sure I've heard him tell that story.
Super cool.
How about that?
Yeah, jeez.
Yeah, so Ricky Horton's in Field of Dreams. Think about that.
Nice. What's your favorite movie involving the Red Sox? Is it Field of Dreams or is it Fever Pitch?
With the great Jimmy Fallon and Drew Barrymore.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, and I guess I should be ashamed of this.
You're going to say Fever Pitch.
I don't mind the movie Fever Pitch.
Jimmy
I don't
Fallon's
mind
so
it
bad.
in a sense that I know it's not good.
Sure.
But if it's on,
Yeah.
it's so mindless that I enjoy it. Now, I recall the morning after the Cardinals lost to the Red Sox, and there wasn't a whole lot of drama to it. And we were doing TMA, and there was more anger directed toward Jimmy Fallon and Drew Barrymore for making out on the field at Busch Stadium. We didn't know they were shooting a movie.
Right.
They were just like, "The hell's this?"
How'd they get on the field?
We get the Red Sox, and the Cardinal fans were kind enough to, Busch Stadium allowed all these Red Sox fans, especially considering the circumstances, to get down close to the dugouts. There wasn't a lot of drama in the series, but okay, we gotta draw the line on Drew Barrymore and Jimmy Fallon, engaging in heavy petting in between first and second base, metaphorically and literally.
Absolutely. My father just texted me, Ricky Horton was on the White Sox while pitching on Field of Dreams.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah, that's good. That's good knowledge.
Yeah,
right
that's
there.
good fun. That's the direction I thought you were going with the trivia question.
No, actually, that would have been better, honestly.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, James Earl Jones.
Yeah. Sandlot. Star Wars.
Yeah, Darth Vader. Coming
Sesame
to America.
Street.
Coming to America.
Ah, yeah, King Joffrey Jafar.
Yeah. Mufasa. Heartbreaking. No spoilers, but
Yeah, don't give away a
heartbreaking.
spoiler.
But yeah, a world-class, not just voice, but really good actor too.
Jackson with a wonderful trivia question. I think it was a nice bounce back after the female Fox
Felt
and the
good.
Iowa question
Felt
on
good.
postal
Still felt
codes.
good about those, but felt good.
10:51 in St. Louis. You are listening to Balloon Party on 101 ESPN. All right, Jackson, we got 2 minutes. What do you want to do with it?
So I'll stick on the James Earl Jones thing real quick and just say, like James Earl Jones was in Sandlot and Field of Dreams, so like he's always going to be associated with baseball. Who are some other people out there who are iconic with sports but never played the sport?
Me.
I was thinking like Rocky, like Sylvester Stallone. Oh. It doesn't have to be movie characters either. Like
Vin Scully, Jack Buck.
Yeah.
See, I go broadcaster.
Yeah, this question was better in my head.
I mean, Costner.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, with baseball and golf.
And golf, matter. Tin Cup.
Yeah.
But yeah, baseball with Bull Durham.
Spike Lee with basketball.
Field of Dreams. Spike Lee, of course, with
Mars
basketball. Blackman. Mickey Carroll.
with what?
He came to a number of our Inside STL events and judged the Girl Next Door contest.
Yeah.
Did a wonderful job, but he was with many members of the 2008 Cardinals. Todd Wellemeyer, Joe Mather, Felipe Lopez, all the greats.
It's not a
that team won the World Series. Anybody got that?
Should have.
Was there for the taking.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Phillies and Rays got there instead.
Dennis Hopper. Yeah, greatest basketball coach of all time.
Shooter.
Yeah, don't get caught watching the paint dry.
Right.
I feel
like I've done my best with what, let's be honest, wasn't a great question.
It wasn't great. Well, I was given a tight slot.
Well, the great news is we still have 3 minutes because the question was so bad. So you could step over the line of scrimmage and go, okay, we ran the play against Murray State. Bad exchange between Cook and Burden. Maybe we'll run it again, but now defenses have to prepare for it. Let's run another play. You have nothing else. That's what that look on your face told me. You have nothing else.
No, I tried.
And that's how we're going to land the plane today, by you saying I tried.
I think it's representative of the program.
Busty Hart, Brad Pitt, Moneyball, Prince, basketball, Butch Patrick.
In terms of greatness.
Eddie Munster. Well, I got to tell you, whoever sent that in, 573, that's accurate.
Oh, Will Ferrell with baseball. That's a good one.
One of the more...
Harry Carey.
Yes, he did a wonderful Harry Carey. One of the more alarming moments in my career was being in the Cardinal dugout when I believe he's now former reporter Calvin May presented Cubs manager Joe Madden with an autographed picture of Butch Patrick and the Munster Mobile. And, to Madden's credit, he expressed a great deal of gratitude in an attempt to cloak his confusion at the reason for the gift.
Which is fair.
Let me tell you something. If somebody walked up to me with an autographed picture of Butch Patrick...
Not personalized either, just signed.
I mean, I wouldn't be more alarmed by a prostate check. I'd be going...
Always be welcome.
This is nice, but right. I mean, what's the context?
So many parallels.
What are we doing here?
Yeah.
But Joe Madden, no doubt. I mean, as you know, I'm a world-class poker player, so I saw the involuntary reaction, which clearly conveyed confusion. But yet he was able to express gratitude right there in the Cubs dugout as he accepted the gift of the Butch Patrick autographed image. And Butch Patrick, we'll do Mount Rushmore of Widow's Peaks tomorrow, but Butch Patrick has to be there. He has to be there. He's probably the George Washington on Widow's Peaks. All right, Jackson, it's 11 o'clock. We got to go. Who do we have coming up on BK and Ferrari? I'm looking forward to listening.
Marty
Smith. That's a great get.
I can't wait to listen to that.
BK and Ferrari. That's coming your way. For Jackson Bennett Burkett, I'm Tim McKernan. This has been Balloon Party on 101 ESPN.